Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at Python and more specifically flow control in Python. What in the previous videos, we saw that we can write blocks of code and take user input. So just writing this is good, but then what we want to do is also have some conditions like if 5 is greater than 6, then do something, or if A is equal to A, then do something. So based on these conditions, you want to execute a certain piece of code. So that is called flow control in Python. And let's see how that works in today's video. All right. So the first thing that we have over here is let's print A is equal to A, right? So now when I run this, I need to put this in a string. Okay. So now when I run this, it says true. All right. So it's basically checking if this condition is, right. So this is good, and we understand this. Now what I can also do is, like say 5 and 6, right? So this should give the answer false in the output. Okay, so we have false. Now what I can do is take this condition. This is basically an operator, comparison operator. Okay, and I can say if this is equal to or less than. All right, less than. So when I do this, it says true, correct? So the way to remember how to put these signs is like exactly the way you say it in English. So when we say five is less than 6, less than or greater, or less than or equal to 6, or we would say greater than or equal to 6. So that's the way that you need to apply the symbol. So this should return false, and we have false, right? So the only thing now that we need to do is take this and put this into a conditional, right? So to put this into a conditional, the most frequently used code is if. So all you need to do is put if, and then you write the same condition, right? And you put this is equal to this. Okay, and then you put a colon and hit enter. So in the way Python works is anything that you write in if after spaces over here, 2 spaces or 3 spaces, if you use PyCharm, it will automatically do that for you. Okay. And then you can write print inside if. Okay. Okay. So now let's try to run this. Now this doesn't print. And the reason, so let me comment this one for now. Okay. And what I'm trying to do is I'm just running this. This is my code right now. Okay. In the previous code, we were just printing it, the result. But now I want to do something, and this something in this example is print. But I can write any other logic in this if block. All right. So I will say if 5 is equal to 6, print inside if. Okay. So it won't print anything. So it doesn't print anything, right? And I know my code was run successfully because I see the exit code of 0. So whenever you get a 0 exit code, it means the command completed successfully, right? So now if I was to change this to 5, okay, and then you see the output changed. So it says inside if, right? So this is basically how you can, module your code. So for example, if I have uh, over here, this is in the if blocks, or I could write elif. So elif is a short form for else if. So if this condition is not met, the code will look at this condition, right? Print inside elif, okay? And I need to give it a condition to check, right? So I need to say 4 is equal to 3, which is wrong. So now when I run this, it will go here, and it will, this condition is satisfied. So it won't even look at this. But if this condition is not met, then it will look here, okay? So now let's change this to 2, and let's make this 4, okay? And now this should work. So now you see what happened is the Python code came here. It saw this condition. It says this is not true. So I don't care what is over here, and it won't print this. then it will check this condition, and this condition is true, so it went here, right? So if any condition is successfully met, then it will go into that block. So I could write multiple elifs over here also. So if I have multiple conditions I want to check, so I will just write, yeah, so I need to put the condition here, equal to 3, okay? And then inside second elif, okay? And then now what, the last one is else. So when you put a else condition, this is how a complete if-else block looks. So the first is if, then you have elif, and then you have else. So else is like if nothing else matches, then do this, So I could say print uh, in else. Okay. So now it says it's in else. So here it did not print else because the elif condition, this condition inside elif is met. So once it matches any condition, then it says, okay, I'm done. This if block is done from my side. All right. So now let's try to not make this work. And okay. And over here, we will also look at some operators. Like if I want to say not equal to, so I can put this. So this means 4 is not equal to 4, which is wrong. So it won't go inside this block. It will go inside this one because this condition is true. So let's try to make it run and go into this block of code. So now it goes into the second elif, right? Because this condition is met. Okay. So now we understand how we can, manipulate the code to go into different blocks as per our requirement, right? So these conditions are what we should be able to manipulate and apply. And so these are basically called comparison operators, assignment operators, conditional operators. So basically these are just checks that you can check this value with this value, or if this value contains is inside another value, those kind of stuff. And we will look at these examples further. So now, if I was to say even this is false, I'm trying to not make it go inside this code. So now I didn't give any condition here, right? The final else. So what I could do is, now what it will do is, it will print this block. And the reason it prints this block is because it did not find anything matching here. So it says, okay, if nothing is matching, then I will do this. Like standard English, if nothing matches, else do this. So you see it goes into the else block now, right? So I hope this is pretty easy to understand. The indentation part or writing the code is very simple in Python. You just have to write if, put the condition over here, and then a colon over here. And then whatever you put after spaces over here is something that is related to this block of code. Whatever you write over here is related to this thing, right? So that's the syntax in Python. Okay, so now if I were to just put, I can also write it without the elif. So if I have just one if condition and else, I can even do this, which is fine. Okay, now if I change this to 5, the logic changes, right? So now it says inside if. So if it goes inside if, it won't bother to go down and check this, because this will only run if this is not met, right? So I can put various combinations over here. So if I wanted to like only put one elif also, that is fine. I don't need the else. I can do it like this also. All right. And so now nothing printed because both the conditions are not met, right? But if I want, I can do this, and now the elif should get printed. Okay. So now we are inside elif. Cool. So I hope this helps. And so now let's remove this part and just focus a little on the operator side. So operators have various conditions, like I said, that greater than. So now this should return true. Okay. So what Python does is it looks at this expression and tries to convert it to true or false, and then sees if this is equal to this, which is true, then it, does this, which is good. Now, in the conditional part, there are many options that you can do. You can also write like this, 5 and 1 is equal to 1. Okay. And when you do this, it still prints this, right? Inside if. because this matches this. But if I were to say 1 is not equal to 1, right? So you see nothing got printed. So the reason is because this condition is true, but this one is false, right? 1 is equal to false. But in the condition I have given, 1 is not equal to 1. So what happens when you put a AND operator? It has to evaluate both to true. So this has to be true and this has to be true. Only then it will go inside. Okay, so that's how AND works, the AND operator. And or you could have this. So this is an optional. So this means that either this or this has to be true. So if I do this, it prints this because even though this is false, this one is true. So Python says, okay, if either one is true, I am okay with this. So that's how you control the flow, right? Another, all right, so we covered these two. This looks good. All right. And then we looked at this. Now, let's make a string called name, all right? And we put my name over here. And then we say, if f name, if f is name, print Farooq, okay? So, okay, so now when we do if f in name, it says print Farooq, right? So let's try to run this and we get the output Farooq, right? But if I change this to uppercase F, okay, and I try to run this, it does not print it. So it for Python, this F and this F is different. So it is case sensitive. So that's the reason it wasn't printing earlier, and now it prints F, right? So that's how you can check. Or you could also do, like, for example, not in, right? So it prints Farooq, right? Because S is not in this name. So in, not in, and, or, these are the operators that you will normally use for flow control. And so these are useful operators to know, and just practice a little with them, and hopefully it should be more familiar to you. And I'll see you in the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Thank